So, hello, SWS kids. Um, I want to just talk about what it was like for me as a child. Now, I want to talk about the importance of how you present yourself. So, I talked about in the last video just about the importance of doing your best. So, down to I was talking about the raw egg story, but also drinking warm drinks because I want my voice to be better. Um, Talking about rehearsal, so meeting my friends from my school were my dance partners, but we knew that we had to rehearse before we went for a performance. Also, I remember we had, I don't know if any of you have ever worn ashoke, but there are some ashoke that you can wear, and the fabric prick you like it's like a when I don't know if you guys used to say this thing chuku chuku. We used to call it chuku chuku. It feels like the fabric is just scratching your body. But the thing is, when we took pictures, it was so pretty because it was the goldy kind of colors, or those were the nice ones that it just looked nice when we wore it. But when you wear it, it is so itchy. So we will go into performances. So imagine we went to on a big stage and we're performing and when Asha okay, it was so prickly, but we had to just take our faces on and just like, yeah, smile like nothing is happening, but your clothes are like scratching you. So it's almost like that kind of thing of doing your best and presenting yourself in the best way. And also, like I touched on before, like that thing of people seeing you makes their day. They think the point is that you are there and you are performing because you've understood why you're performing, but then also the fact that you actually put yourself out there means that you are encouraging somebody by seeing you. So sometimes I would show up to an event, and then I'm seeing many children around me, or adults, people that recognize me, and it's like, oh, hello, how are you? Oh my goodness, this girl, hey, look at that girl, oh. They're saying all these things to recognize you, and I'm having to go, okay, I'm very tired right now, but I'm going to smile because it's not just about me, it's about that person that I'm looking at. That's that person that see me. Oh, how are you? I'm fine. How are you? If it's an auntie, if it's an uncle, I will curtsy. I will like almost kneel down to the floor because I'm a Yoruba girl after all. I'm Yoruba and Igbo, I will say. So I understand this is what I'm supposed to do in this culture, in this context. So saying that, I think is important as well to, as you grow up, because obviously this is us talking about music and performing, because you have to recognize that you are representing and you're showcasing something. You have to learn about every environment you go into. So it's like you're going to somewhere which is for example, going to, I'm just trying to think of a church that I've performed in that has a big stage, and singing on that stage and understanding this is a big church. Everyone here, they drive wherever and they come to this church and I perform, and it's nice to be around there. And I've also performed at churches of that significance, whether it is let's think about a Baptist church, one of the churches I grew up in, or I've actually also performed at a celestial church, and understand, okay, in this celestial church, they expect you to remove your shoes, or they expect you to or cover your head. There are different rules in that place. But if I'm in a Baptist church, I can't wear trousers, whatever my family rules are. But just to say that you can't wear trousers there. So what you're wearing has to be representative of that environment. As much as possible, of course, your parents are helping you here, but it's important for you to be conscious of these things. As a child, as an artist, it depends on where you get your inspiration from, how you sing. It's important for you to observe things that are around you. So imagine if you said you're going to go to perform at a stadium. A stadium is very big, and then you decide to wear black. Just a random example. These are the kind of things that you can think about. Your parents say, "Oh, wear this black." You can actually say, because you've thought about it, you can actually say to your parents, "Mommy, Daddy, or whoever you're with, Uncle, Auntie, I don't think I should wear black because when I'm on the stage, nobody will see me because it's very far." Those kind of thing. There's nothing wrong with you being able to think about this is what I'm trying to do and how I want to project it, how I see it being. Now, this is where I mentioned about my my quiet 1 or 2 minutes, by myself. I already told where I go by myself. But if I can't find time, just to sit down with myself and think about what I envision. Now I will take that into it as well, because so I'm a Christian. I grew up as a Christian. I remember I gave my life to Jesus when I was really young, and the thing for me is prayer. And in that prayer, I can is another way where I'm able to think about what it is that I want to put before God. So if I want a bicycle, I put before God. If I'm also scared about going to studio about a particular song, I put that before God. But the thing, as you grow older, you find that prayer is also a time when you think about the things that you're concerned about, and then you put it before God. So it's a way of you actually reflecting on what it is that you are processing. So, um, example. So some of the performances I've had to do have been, it could be from doing, like I mentioned, my Baptist church where I grew up in, or it could be another one in Abuja where we had the president of West Germany at that time, just after I released the first album, came to Nigeria and I got to perform for him. And at each one of those performances, of course, do you think I was scared? I was. Like every single time I had to go out and sing, I was concerned about, would that my voice break? Will my voice not come out? So I make sure that I'm drinking the warm water. I'm making sure that my outfit is my dress is on, that my wrapper is tight, it doesn't fall off. I'm more concerned about all these different things, making sure that I know the words, and if I pronounce the wrong word, it's not the end of the world. But it's those kind of things that I actually pray and put before God. So I'm going to say to you all, actually, it's really useful to think about what it is you want to do, and vision where you are, what you're trying to do with it, the performance, every single performance, whether it's studio, whether it's actually even learning a song. And if you pray, that's a great time to be able to put everything before God. And then that helps you think about how it will happen, because you prayed about it and it's like, okay, you know what, that actually is almost like I've already put it before God, it's going to go well. All I can now do is do my best. So you make sure that your voice is smooth, make sure your wrapper is tight, make sure that your hair is tight, make sure that your hands are not sweaty, all those different things that you can do. Make sure you learn all the words, all those kind of, you practice all the dance steps, all the different things. I'm sure you have different ideas of what you do before you do a performance. The other thing as well that I realize is each performance that I've done has been very different. It's always been a thing, which is, again, I would say why I talked about that quiet time for myself. You need to find your own quiet space, because you're in a house, you have brothers, sisters, mommy and daddy. Sometimes you might not be able to find that time where you can, well, where am I going to go? You want to watch TV, you want to do something. It's always good to just stop everything sometimes and just find that quiet time for yourself. In that time, you can envision what it is that you're doing. And I would actually really encourage you dreaming about your future, dreaming about what it is that you would like to do. As much as possible, you mostly will only dream about what you've seen before, what you've imagined. But again, if you dream about it with the reasons of your why do you want to do it, then I think that helps your mind to say, okay, so now mine was about going to an orphanage. Yours could be anything. Yours could be, I want to be the best singer in the world. I want everybody to know my name. I want to sing songs that are all about, like, just happiness. It could be anything. It could be, I want to be the best drummer. I want to be the best songwriter. I don't want anyone to know me. I just want to write songs. It could be anything. See, any idea that you have, any idea you have, I believe is valid, because each one of us, again from prayer, you see this, each one of us is different, and we were all made uniquely different. So I'm different. I have 3 sisters. I'm very different to each one of my sisters. I'm very different to each one of my sisters. And I like if one of them said they wanted to be like me, I wouldn't even like it, because I like them being them. And I like being able to say, okay, if I go to this sister, they're different. I go to this other person, they're different. My friends, they're all different to me. So we are all very different. So if you have a desire to do something for a reason, it's valid. So if you're able to think about it in those quiet times as to why you want to do this, it's great that your parents are, I'm sure if you're here, parents definitely support you to want to do this. It's not going to be about you. That quiet time by yourself is where you really think about, okay, what do I see as something that I would want to do? Why do I want to do this? I will say that why is very important. And then I will say that every performance that you have, as different as I was saying before, every performance you have is always quite different. The thing is that because when you get used to stopping and reflecting and taking it in and having that quiet time to just think about things and praying about different things, it helps you step away. It's like you go back after the event happens, you go back and you play it back and see the things that you did not see before and learn from them. And so it can help us in the next place. So just to give you an idea, I've performed I've performed at select churches, maybe one or two actually. I performed at Baptist churches. I performed at stadiums, National Stadium in Lagos. I performed in Abuja at Nikonuga. I think it was when, now it's called AU, African Union, but it was called Organization of African Union. And that time they're trying to bring African countries together to work together. And I remember that was the year that I believe Mandela actually visited. So I performed basically, as far as I was concerned, I performed in front of Mandela and a whole bunch of other presidents from across Africa. I performed at events where we had international artists, like American artists, at I think it was Stadium again in Lagos, where it was a fundraiser event, and they're all different. So you step back. I performed at Lekki Beach as well, where there was an event sponsored by Star. You're wondering what? I think I was 8 or 9. I was, what's it? That is a 9. Let's say I was 9. What was a 9-year-old? Even if I was 15, say, but I wasn't. Maybe let's say 12 max. What was a young child performing at a Star event? So those are the kind of things that I would take away and just reflect on what's happened, who I saw, who said what, when we went through this place, what this place looked like, and just reflect on it by yourself so that you form your own thoughts on what it is that you have just experienced. And it helps you to form your own opinion on what you want to do, like how you want to react when something like that else comes up. So because of stuff like that, when I'm performing with the band, when we're doing rehearsals, when we've done a song, imagine singing a song, you sang it in C sharp or something, and then someone is playing and they're trying to be like, oh, and they start going into another key, and I'm just like, that's not the key we practiced. I don't understand what, let's say, that was that uncle doing. Oh, rather, what's that man doing? But you're like, what is this? This is not, because I know I don't want to be shocked last minute. I know what we practiced. Let everyone know this is what we are doing, because I've formed the opinion that this is what I want to do. And so when someone changes the key, it's not going to be something I accept because I've decided this is the key. I like how it sounds, let's leave it there. So it's those kind of little things that help you form that opinion of what you do. So from that to the sound of the words that I use, the music, to what you're wearing sometimes, to how you react to people, and just knowing who people are and just being conscious of the different environments. I think those are the kind of things that I thought would be good to share with you, about things just to be aware of. So I actually wonder, in your world now, I mean, we can say that things are a bit different, because in my time we had, I think, 5 TV channels, really. As I grew up, we had cable anyway. We had, but initially we had 5 TV channels. Some of them started at 7 o'clock, okay, maybe 4 in the afternoon after school. So we didn't have as many distractions. We didn't have as much internet. We don't have as many tablets. So you had more time for yourself. But what I will say, just to end this properly, is it would be really good for you in this time to learn how to have time for yourself. Because one thing you will find as you grow up to become an adult is that is an important skill. Life will keep getting more noisy. There'll be more things for you to do every day. As you're writing, as you're doing things will always be coming up. Things will always happen. There will always be someone's birthday party to go to. There will always be this other event. There will always be this activity. But it's really important to learn how to have that time for yourself in quietness, to find that quiet spot for yourself, that time in prayer to commit everything to God as well. So I would really say it's something that I would highly encourage you. And even in that time, you will find that you are able to be creative about what you do as your next steps. That's it for this one.